Hello from Cookbook Divas. This is Carrie, and today I wanted to talk about something that's not quite a cookbook. It's a food history book covering 12 essential cookbook writers who defined the way we eat from 1661 to today. I didn't realize American English cookbooks were that old. It's called Women in the Kitchen, and it does have more than 50 recipes. And it's by Anne Willan, and it came out in 2020. And I just grabbed it from the library. And I was tempted to do a book club, offer a book club here at Cookbook Divas for you guys, but I'm not sure there would be much to discuss in the way like a fiction book club. You always have things to say. But this is full of people I've never heard of. Of course, I've heard of Julia Child, Alice Waters, Marcella Hazan, Edna Lewis, Irma Rombauer, Fanny Farmer, but the ones before that I've never heard of. Sarah Rutledge, 1782 to 1855 is when she lived. Lydia Child, 1802 to 1880. I wonder if she's a relation to Julia Child's husband. Anyway, Maria Rundell, 1745 to 1828. Amelia Simmons, dates unknown, which is interesting. Hannah Glass, 1708 to 1770. And the first one is Hannah Woolley, 1622 to 1675. I raced through that a little faster and I went backwards. So let's take a peek at women in the kitchen. The very first page of the book has an illustration of a woman and says a woman cook bastes meat on a spit in front of the open fire. On the table behind her lies a cookbook with instructions for the task at hand. In the background, a male server takes plates out to the unseen dinner table. Let me just read the introduction. I'll summarize it because I shouldn't read the entire book to you. And the introduction is several pages long. Okay, let me read the first paragraph. Over the centuries, millions of women have cooked in the kitchen, but far fewer have written down what they learned. And far, far fewer have seen their words in print. The first woman's cookbook published in English was The Queen-like Closet or Rich Cabinet by Hannah Woolley. It appeared in 1670, less than 6 years after a great fire destroyed most of medieval London. The urge to document what still existed must have been compelling. And in a supplement to the 1681 edition, Mrs. Woolley observes, "Ladies, I hope you're pleased, and so shall I, if what I've writ you may be gainers by. If not, it is your fault, it is not mine, your benefit in this I do design. Much labor and much time it hath me cost, therefore I beg, let none of it be lost." So the introduction talks about this woman that we're writing cookbooks. And the very first chapter is Hannah Woolley, 1622 to 1625, with a image of her first cookbook, The Queen-like Closet or Rich Cabinet, with all manner of rare receipts for preserving, candying, and cookery. Wow. The first cookbook by a woman in English. And recipes, supposedly there's 50. Her recipes that we could read about in this book are to pickle oysters, to make boiled salads, to make a pompion pie, I think she means pumpkin, to make fine jumbles, to make good almond milk, and then, this is translated into English, pickled oysters, which does not sound good to me, spiced carrot puree, savory pumpkin and apple pie, jumbled spice cookies, and almond milk with violet leaves, and dates. So that is Hannah Woolley, and I'm skipping ahead to the next cookbook author. This is really fascinating. I can't wait. I'm going to read this cover to cover, and I skipped someone because here's some new. The next person is Hannah Glass, which is a different Hannah. Let's find out. 1708 to 1770. The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Easy was the great cookbook of the 18th century that portrays the table of the prosperous English household for the adventurous cook. And her recipes are a green pea soup, to make force meatballs, to pot salmon, to stir a turkey or fowl in celery sauce, celery spelled with an S back then, to make chocolate cream, and to make syrup of roses. And now I'm jumping forward to Amelia Simmons, dates unknown. And she wrote American Cookery, the first cookbook written by an American using American ingredients. And her recipes are to pickle cucumbers, Indian slapjack, a rice pudding, raspberry cream, and a butter drop. Not sure what a butter drop is. And the next person is Maria Rundell, 1745 to 1828. And she wrote Mrs. Rundell's Domestic Cookery. She presented a new system of domestic cookery, a confident English bestseller that launched 19th century cooking on both sides of the Atlantic. And her recipes are an excellent hodgepodge, veal or chicken and parsley pie, potato rolls, which I would love to try making, tomato sauce for hot or cold meats, and mushroom ketchup another way, page 92. What? That sounds so good. And I'm going to skip ahead, although I'm very curious to peek at the mushroom ketchup. She asks for 2 cloves of garlic, 2 pounds of portobello mushrooms, coarse salt, thinly sliced, 3 blades of mace, 2 or 3 bay leaves, black peppercorns, whole cloves, ground ginger, and a bottle with a cork. Next, the next chapter is Lydia Child, 1802 to 1880. The Frugal Housewife, the first comprehensive American book on household management, designed as a guide for the domestic goddess. Her recipes are lobster salad, baked Indian pudding, bird's nest pudding, and cranberry pie. Who here makes cranberry pie for Thanksgiving? That's Lydia Child. The next chapter is Sarah Rutledge, 1782 to 1855. She wrote The Carolina Housewife, a regional cookbook that reveals the secrets of an aristocrat's southern table, setting a new standard of excellence for many cooks to follow. Her recipes are chicken a la tartare, something called zephyrina's, sugar gingerbread, and Regent's Punch. Well, I'm going to skip over and look and see what's in Regent's Punch, because I'm very interested. It is red currant jelly, brewed green tea, champagne or sparkling white wine, the juice of 4 lemons, a cup of cognac, and a punch bowl. Sounds good. The next chapter is Fanny Farmer, who lived from 1857 to 1915, and there's a picture of her. She wrote the Boston Cooking School Cookbook, the definitive guide to American cooking with detailed ingredients and instructions that led to the more systematic cookbooks of today. Her recipes are English monkey, I really hope that means English monkey bread, fried scallops, hot slaw, crown pie, bread and butter pudding. Okay, I got to peek at this monkey recipe. What is an English monkey? I'm kind of scared. It is chafing dish possibilities from 1911. It involves white bread that's stale, milk, butter, cheddar cheese, warm crackers for serving, water crackers for serving, 1 egg beaten to mix, salt, cayenne pepper. And you make it in a skillet. Interesting. Never heard of it. Okay. Let's find out who's in the next chapter. It is Irma Rombauer, 1877 to 1962. That is a nice long life. She wrote The Joy of Cooking, which I know my mother cooked from. It's the timeless guide to classic American recipes, expanding on its predecessors to cover cooking from coast to coast. Her recipes in this book are cream of tomato soup without soda, beef loaf 2, bread rolls never fail, cornflake drops, and Delmonico ice cream. So we could learn about her life. And next is Julia Child, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, 1912 to 2004. Another nice long life. Maybe we should all write cookbooks because these people are living a long time. Julia Child's recipes that are included in this book include potage velouté aux champignons, ratatouille coq au vin, her famous recipe, something à la Provençale, thon, and la tarte des demoiselles tatin, which they interpreted for us down here as cream of mushroom soup, ratatouille, coq au vin, tuna Provençale, and caramelized upside-down apple tart. Sounds good. So that's Julia Child. And the next is Edna Lewis, the Black cookbook author. She wrote The Taste of Country Cooking, the work that expanded the scope of regional cookbooks to include personal style as an essential element of writing about good food. Her recipes are quail in casserole, crispy biscuits, purple plum tart, caramel pie, and country fried apples. Crispy biscuits. Wow, that sounds really good. I accidentally make mine crispy when I burn them. Caramel pie sounds really good right about now. Marcella Hazan. Did I say that right? Is it hot? I think so. 1924 to 2013. She was born in Cesenatico down the coast from Venice on the Adriatic Sea. Her book was the classic Italian cookbook, the model for ethnic cookbooks, creating a new standard for authentic Italian cooking in America. And her recipes are pomodoro al forno, polenta con luganega, risotto with beef, rosemary, sage, and Barolo wine, Alba style, and granita di caffè con panna, a dessert involving coffee. And that is our next author is Alice Waters, who is still alive. She was born in 1944, same year as my dad. She wrote the Chez Panisse Menu Cookbook, a cookbook that celebrates the national movement toward local ingredients and seasonal eating. Thank you for that. Her recipes are fig and grape salad with pancetta crostini, mango salad with hot pepper, cured grilled salmon vinaigrette, and garlic souffle. And that is our last cookbook author in this book, and there's a large bibliography that would be very interesting to research also. So that was my quick little overview of the Women in the Kitchen book, 12 Essential Cookbook Writers Who Defined the Way We Eat from 1661 to Today by Anne Willan. Thanks for checking this out with me. For more on cookbooks, you can visit the Cookbook Divas website. We have a YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Pinterest. Thanks so much for watching and for listening.